In a quiet town that seemed almost forgotten by time, there lived a young philosophy student named Aaron. He had always been told that the world was made of facts, measurements, objects, definitions. But Aaron felt something missing in that explanation, as if reality itself had a hidden texture no one bothered to notice. One winter evening, while reading in a dim library, he came across the writings of Phenomenology, a way of thinking that did not begin with the world out there, but with experience itself. How things appear to consciousness. The idea struck him like a quiet shock. "Don't explain the world first," the text seemed to whisper. "Describe how it shows itself." That night, Aaron walked home differently. The streetlights no longer felt like mere poles of electricity. They became glowing presences, each one bending the fog in its own way. The cold air was not just temperature, it was resistance against his skin, a kind of silent conversation. Even his footsteps felt less like mechanical impacts and more like confirmations. "I am here," the world responds. He began to practice what the philosophers called bracketing, setting aside assumptions about what things are and focusing instead on how they appear. He did not know it yet, but this idea had been shaped deeply by thinkers like Edmund Husserl, who insisted that consciousness was always consciousness of something, and that experience itself deserved careful attention. One morning, Aaron sat by a lake. Normally, he would have said, "This is water reflecting sunlight." But now he tried something else. He noticed how the lake first appeared as a shimmer, then as depth, then as memory. It was not a single object, but a layered unfolding. The wind didn't just move across it. It wrote and erased patterns faster than thought. The world was not static. It was revealing itself moment by moment through perception. As days passed, Aaron's inner world grew quieter, but sharper. He realized something unsettling. Two people could stand at the same lake, and yet inhabit entirely different realities. Not because the lake changed, but because experience itself was not identical. Reality was not just what existed, it was what was lived. In his studies, he later encountered thinkers like Martin Heidegger, who pushed this even further, asking not just how things appear, but what it means to be in a world at all. Aaron began to see that existence was not something separate from understanding. It was entangled with it. Years later, Aaron returned to that same library where it had all begun. He opened a blank notebook and wrote a single line. "The world is not what I think before I experience it. It is what appears while I am experiencing it." He closed the book, not as someone who had found final answers, but as someone who had learned to see questions more clearly. And outside, the world continued to reveal itself, quietly, endlessly, to anyone willing